Boom. Ethereal synchronicity 444. esync444. What we're saying, people, right? Okay, I'm just gonna try and do what I gotta do with this, and we're talking about power. Yeah, power. 50 Cent. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Show that he has on TV network called Starz. Yeah. So all of this is very, you could call it synchronicitous, or lines up with everything connecting the pieces. So I'm going to show you a little idea that I had that I thought I'd try out. I was thinking, when should I do it? And seeing as we've had what's been the finale of Power, I'd say now is probably about the time to do it. Right, I'm going to pause this 1 second, actually, real quick. 1 second. Yeah, said I was going to pause for a second. Took a bit longer than a second because I had to like open and close Solar Fire, this program here anyway. So the whole idea about me doing this power thing, right, was today, or doing it, the reason why I'm doing it today, because what I've seen, let me throw it on this chart, when looking at the charts of the actors in Power, yeah, and actors in general, well, the actors in particular, specifically Power, but it happens. But yeah, basically, most of them had planets with aspect to Neptune. Neptune deals with acting, cameras like this, behind the scenes, imagery, deals with a whole lot of things. But in terms of the camera and the film industry in Hollywood, Pisces is basically the sign that Neptune is said to rule. In terms of acting and performing, Leo is definitely one of the top of the tree signs that wants to perform and show its talents and self-expression. So Pisces kind of speaks to the whole settings and the environment, the whole energy of it, and fantasy and illusion, which is very Neptunian. Whereas the Sun speaks to the expression from the heart of wanting to perform and really shine. Yeah. So today, if you see here what I'm going to circle, at 18 degrees you've got Neptune and the Sun, as I may have said before. But I'm going to take a little look into Neptune specifically, because I think there might be something that's flashing from my head, particularly to do with Neptune. But let me see if I can find its discovery details. There we go. Try and get the chart in shot. Alright, gonna do something a bit brave. Move myself over here for a short time. Right. According to mix it up with this Mercury retrograde. According to Astrodienst, so astro.com, Mercury was discovered, or the chart for it is the 24th of September 1846. And check this out. It's never an accident or coincidence really with me. Neptune is in Aquarius, at the very end of the Aquarius, with Saturn. Let's see what degree they're giving it. 25, right? Saturn 25. Mars is at 25 in Virgo. Jupiter is at 16. So why am I reading 16 and 25? Because if you had 2 plus 5 numerology, 7. If you add 1 plus 6, 7 again. And then the moon is even at 7 degrees. So Neptune and in numerology is said to speak to the number 7. So yeah, it's quite a lot of connections in even its placement. Because if I show you in the current chart of now, I leave myself back to where I normally find myself on the screen. That'll do. You have Mercury retrograde at 28 Aquarius, basically close to where Neptune and Saturn were in Neptune's discovery chart. So as I'm speaking and communicating about Neptune, which is Mercury and the past retrograde, yeah, Mercury's crossing over the point where Saturn and Neptune itself was discovered at the time. So I'm going to show you in all these charts, or the main ones anyway, how most of these people have an aspect with Neptune. So 50, yeah, 50 Cent, 50, Kanan, that guy, he himself, I didn't directly, no, let me have a look. But I wasn't like directly seeing this in 50's chart himself. It's kind of everybody that he hired, because he's the boss, he runs the show, it's his show. This is actually quite funny, because what do you see straight away? You see Pallas Athena and Vesta in Gemini at 14 and 16 degrees, and they're opposite to his Neptune at 11 degrees in Sagittarius. So I mean, speaking to him being the boss and organising and arranging, I'd definitely say Pallas Athena. And then the service of the show and everybody liking it and it being so popular that, you know, he wanted to keep doing it, and he's going to make spin-offs and sequels and that. So maybe that's why 50 is looking to do his... In fact, 50 himself said he's looking to come in and take over. That's how he kind of built this show and kicked off Empire. But speaking of stars anyway, Mr. Curtis Jackson, this reminds me of a bit like Mr. Tyson Fury. 50 himself has Mars at 29 degrees Leo, which is the famously known place for the fixed star Regulus. Until very recently it's just gone over to 0 degrees Virgo. But yeah, you'll always see in the books at 29 degrees Leo, generally speaking, from historic times. Always speaks to someone at the top of the tree, or very known, or a big boss, or someone prominent in the game. Hence why I was saying Tyson Fury was the Gypsy King. But yeah, 50 is going to be the king of this TV thing and this performing thing and this acting, and that's why he's actually like done big with an action show, because it's Mars there, action, guns, violence. So the whole thing about this power theme, right, is I meant to say I'm gonna go through these actors' charts, right, and it's, don't take it overly seriously, but my phenomena to this 50, the big producing guy that he is, and my whole idea of how the thing works anyway, is that you can't really make somebody a character that they're not, like, that they don't kind of come across as, which is kind of what casting's for. You cast for roles, and then the, you know, producers and whatnot decide who they want for the parts and who fits the part and who has the role in mind. Sometimes the script is written for you specifically, depending if they know you as an actor. But yeah, my theory on this is Neptune, the planet to do with stories and illusions, and is very prominent in any serious actor's chart, because they're able to carry over the illusion onto the screen and through the camera, right? So talking about prominent places in 50's chart, why he works with stars. Born on the 6th of July in 1976, he's a Chinese dragon, power guy, and he has his sun on the 14th degree of Cancer, which is known as the North Star, Sirius's location. So 50 is a big player, like sun on Sirius, Mars on Regulus, yeah. This is Sirius, that's on another fixed star of prominence called Procyon or Procyon. This is Regal, this is Vesta, his planet, but the position in the sky at 16 Gemini is known for Regal. So yeah, these are just things that I can see as an astrologer straight like that, because I've been doing it quite a while. Princeps, the fixed star, and a couple more I'd say, but at 2 to 3 degrees of Scorpio makes him very powerful organizer and planner, and seeing very, very far into the future, with it being Uranus there. So yeah, the madness. 50 was always been able to see around the corner, and that's why he's kind of, you know, got to where he's got to. So let's see about his casting skills and why he's become the big guy in the game that he has. Right, straight away, Omari Hardwick, Ghost. Yo, you know what, right? Everyone loved Power, and I was going to try and rush to do this, but if you love Power, you're going to feel what I'm kind of getting at here. So as I was saying anyway, just to get to that point, is that, call it stereotype, call it typecasting if you want, but you will have to have some aspect with a planet in your chart for you to really probably carry out a role and be convincing at it. That's kind of the theory I'm probably getting at, yeah? So it's not that necessarily that these people do these things, it's that if they were to not be playing it on screen, letting out the energy in that way, this is how it could play out in a person's life. So that's where they were able to dig for their inspiration from, so to speak. I'm just gassing off this, right? Because depending on how you look at it, you could get all sensitive, like, oh, you can't say this about that guy. I'm talking about acting in Neptune, yeah? So I'm going to pause it for a quick sec. Give me a quick sec. Click, clap, pop, pop. 50 survive, 9 shots. Anyway, here we got here, Ghost. Right? Yeah? Just occurred to me, Mr. Omari, Ghost Hardwick, right? That in the transit chart of the time, if I just dig for it here, Jupiter is actually passing over his sun. So talk about a 19th god, yeah? And the sun and Neptune literally being on the 18th degree, about to go on to 19. And I guess I'm a 19th god with a name in a chart that's got its 19s in it. Yeah. Shout out to all my peeps like Deep Speaks. So Juno, Mercury and the sun all at 19 degrees Jupiter. Probably a reason why I'm doing this particularly now. I mean Jupiter, sorry. 19 degrees Capricorn, and Jupiter has just gone to 20 degrees Capricorn and it passed back over. So show you in this chart here. There's Jupiter here. So Palace at 18, Jupiter at 20, making the midpoint 19. Probably why I'm talking about, you know, Power, one of the lead guys from the show, Omari Hardwick. So yeah, for those who know the show or even probably listening this far into it, like this guy was, what do we want to say, the father, the head guy, HNIC, boss man, top guy, yeah. And his Neptune aspect anyway that I see that gives him acting kudos of some form straight away. His moon trine to Neptune, and this means he was the family man. Moon in Leo as well, you know. He could have his moon in Cancer. Bear in mind, I don't have the birth times of any of these charts. They're all just midday charts, noon charts, yeah. Which could, but the moon in Cancer could speak to him being that family man in the show. He was also the boss, like I said, the head honcho. So Saturn speaks to the boss, the person of prominence. And from the beginning, so the South Node talks about the beginning early on. So Saturn conjunct South Node, he was placed as the boss in a partnership actually. So Gemini partnership with Tommy Egan, yeah, which was played by Joseph Sikora, whose chart should probably be next. But yeah, if you look at don't know if I call him by the character name or the real name. I might slip between each and all, so just bear with that innit. But yeah, I see Moon Neptune straight away for this guy, and then Mars and the Moon, depending on where his Moon would be, could also be a configuration. But this boss aspect here, from South Node and Saturn, probably had to be very disciplined early on in life. So that's the character that Ghost actually portrays on screen. Okay, that's Ghost. Which smoothly moves us into Joseph Tommy Sikora. Yep, Tommy Egan, madman. Right, yo, this guy right on the show, right, he was different. Come on now, he was different. So anyway, Omari Hardwick's the 9th of January 1974, but Joseph Sikora, 27th of June 1976. Chinese Dragon like 50 Cent. Makes sense why him and 50 crazy. Those mad guys on the show. So a lot of Cancer for Joseph Sikora. I'm just probably going to call him Tommy man because we just got used to him as Tommy. But his Neptune aspects, what we're looking at here, because the guy's been an actor for a while. Well, straight opposite I can see really. I shouldn't ignore it. Palace, Vesta, and Mercury. So yeah, it's the Mercury situation, as in personal planet, and then these are asteroids, but can, you know, configure. He's basically born what, 2 weeks before 50 Cent, week and a half. This is why he has the same planets as 50 Cent. Like opposite is Neptune. But yeah, his North Node's also at 11:11 when I started one of the takes of this video. What a madness. Okay, right, let's move through. Notori Tasha Norton, yeah? Tasha, ghost wife, yeah? What we got going on for you, girl? So, 20th of May, 1984, East Orange, New Jersey. And... wow! More of these asteroids. Keep cropping up. Same ones as well, though. In fact, check this out. Juno, the asteroid of the wife, yeah? Vesta, asteroid of service, devoted service, devoted wife. Opposite Neptune, Jupiter as well. So Jupiter and Neptune at 0 and 12, and then in Capricorn, opposite Juno and Vesta. So Neptune and Juno, opposite Juno. It's the fact you've got Juno and Jupiter and Neptune and Vesta. Right, okay, in opposition with each other. What else do we see cracking with Neptune? Well, she has the Pluto sextile, but that's generational. Nothing too major. Oh, Mercury again. So she's got Mercury trine Neptune. Yeah? So this is the planet of communication, details, and she was actually known as one of the accountants and one of the people that are kind of smart with numbers. So, go Notori Horton. Oh, and by the way, Chiron and Venus, not Chiron, Uranus and Venus are currently on her natal Mercury. So, she's getting a big up now as well. So, boom, boom. Speed through this. Yo, okay. Brother man. I need to edit his chart. Why did this come up or happen like that? Go on, Reek. Edit chart. Don't know why it has a plus of this chart. Well, I do. It's hard to reopen everything. Let's try that. Sonic boom. So, yeah, week 22nd of... oh, Michael Rainey Jr., yeah? Tariq. Ghost's oldest son. In real life, he's Michael Rainey Jr., who's a Virgo or possibly a Libra. Depends on his birth time. Very interesting because it's at the 29th degree of Virgo on this moon chart that I've made. So, yeah, he's got the moon in Cancer. It speaks to being part of a family. What's his Neptune aspect, though? I mean, he become prominent in this show. Okay, he's got Neptune at 3 degrees in Aquarius, and I straight away see Mars at 3 degrees in Virgo. So that's an inconjunct, yeah? And often people say, oh, it's not a major aspect. Inconjunct's not a major aspect. Quincunx, which is basically 150 degrees. I call it the 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock myself. But it can actually be a very serious aspect to deal with. So that's no joke. Saturn actually is his planet. So here we go. So very close to the beginning of Aquarius. Get the words right way around. Mercury's going stationary. It's getting more. And Saturn is basically smack bang at the beginning of Gemini. So it makes a sweet trine to his Neptune. And then even his Juno is making a trine to his Jupiter. But that is what it is in terms of Mr. Tariq. I mean, if I look here, he's got Sirius square. So there's things happening with Mr. Michael Rainey Jr. But I'm going to say Saturn's basically going to help him get more prominent as time goes along with his acting career. So that's probably why he's going to be big in the sequels coming up. I'll move on from him. Lala Lakeisha Anthony. So this is why I give Joke for 50, yeah, because he didn't really take the character names far from either the people's real names or names that they've been known for in parts that they've acted before. So 50 is kind of genius with that. I kind of think he wanted to make it kind of fit in and be smooth as kind of like possibly could in terms of us believing it, and I guess the people fitting in and finding it comfortable for them. So Neptune for Miss Lala Anthony, Lakeisha is at 23 Sagittarius. But what I found interesting about her chart actually is that she ends up, so she's the best friend of Tasha. she ends up with the best friend of Ghost, aka James St. Patrick. So yeah, Tommy. She ends up with Tommy, and her and Tommy in real life are actually born 2 days apart, but 5 years separate. So Lala ran in the 25th of June 1981, but Joseph Sakura is the 27th of June 1976. But yeah, two Cancerians in real life, and I can see how the screen chemistry and how they really bonded, and how like they'd be. She was providing Tommy the family that he always wanted and didn't really like have. So yeah, and she was kind of like trying to play it down as the ride or die chick. Tommy was really that madman though, wasn't he? Like for real. But yeah, ended badly for Lala because she was just really not about that life and got caught up with her friend, which was Tasha, unwittingly, unknowingly. So that's how it played out for her. This is actually amazing because she has Mercury at 28 degrees Gemini, which is on Ghost's now South Node, and it's Saturn situation, and it's going to be a sweet, perfect trine to Mercury retrograde in Aquarius at 28 degrees now, currently, in real-time chart. Oh, but that Mercury is the planet probably that's most prominent and closest to a Neptune aspect in terms of its making opposition. That's a prominent aspect that's going to be noticeable. So that's probably her part in this. So yeah, her and Tommy have the same aspect. Tommy had the opposition with Mercury as well. Okay, how can we forget this guy? Yo, there's too many guys in power, right? So I'll just try to see who we could fit. So we were looking at Rotimi, yeah? His full name, Olurutimi Akinosho, yeah? But we are just known as Dre, yeah? Dre the Roach. Dre's just that guy. I believe in real life the guy's probably got to have the moon in Leo, but he could have it in Virgo, but it's a noon chart, so let's just roll with it. Did he have Neptune aspects? I believe he did. So Dre was that bad guy, the naughty boy, and yeah, he was always causing the problem. And he has Mars at 6, squaring Chiron at 5, but yeah, they're putting his T-square situation with his Neptune at 8 in Capricorn. So the signs that are basically squaring his Neptune, making Neptune a prominent thing for him. He's actually a singer in real life as well as an actor, I believe. So yeah, that might speak to why he's that guy. Possibly a sex symbol as well, which have Mars and Neptune, which gives him probably that charisma. I've heard it being called a charisma aspect, Mars and Neptune, amongst other things. So yeah, depending on where his moon is when he's born, it could be further over. But what I actually do see straight away, really, again, is South Node and North Node. So his North Node is in Pisces. So he's that guy, he's that character. In terms of the camera and performing and wanting to act, yeah, that does seem like a thing for him. Pisces, as I said at the beginning of the footage. So looking at his Mercury and his Sun, smack bang conjunct. Even his Hygeia and Pluto. So I mean, the guy was a Mercury, Aggie, Messi, Wigsman. I wouldn't necessarily use a clean-up merchant, but a merchant of death. A bit like Griselda Blanco in a video of them about Griselda, the rappers. Check that out. So yeah, even his Sun and Mercury square his nodes actually. So Mercury will be the important planet squaring his node in terms of astrological reading, because the Sun is another situation. But I've seen that there are 8 degrees depending on his birth time, and these are 8 degrees. Very interesting situation in the sense of semi-sextile still an aspect, maybe not considered as important, but Chiron, Mars, Neptune. Dre was definitely a big player in the show by the end, and then his North and South Node put the work in. Okay, we jump off Drip Dre. Do you know who I couldn't find a chart for? 2-bit, yeah? 2-bit was my guy. Ooh wee. Alright, Valdez don't have an Aries chart. I'm not happy with that. Don't know how many of these people don't. But it's an easy fix, so not to worry. Click then. Okay, Layla Loren, aka Angela Valdez. This was the high school sweetheart of James St. Patrick, aka Ghost, aka that guy. Head honcho, top man in charge. And Angela's role was working for the police, right? But she is like a love interest basically. And check this one out. She has Venus opposite, and Venus is actually a ruling planet in the sense that she's a Taurus, so her sun is disposited by this Venus. And yeah, she has that opposite Neptune at 22 degrees Sagittarius. I could talk about what 22 degrees is, and she has 19 degrees Pluto's, but let's just see. Okay, so she has Saturn square to Neptune in Virgo, and she did work with the law and law enforcement, and it was kind of an issue. Squares kind of pose issues, and then the relationship situation of her and Ghost. So Gemini, their pairing, is squaring to Saturn, her work and reputation. I found it interesting, hilarious actually, because if you put Layla Loren and Omari Hardwick together as a Capricorn and Taurus, it works nicely. I mean, the numbers are what, 9 and 7. He's 9th of January, she's 7th of May. It's going to make a trine. She's at what, 17 degrees, he's at 19 degrees, as I said before. So they'd have a nice harmonious relationship in real life, and I could see how, yeah, that could have been a thing in some way, shape, form. Oh yeah, but why she always try to do too much? She's got Mars conjunct Jupiter, so Mars is like what you do in Jupiter's an expansion. So, oh, and it's in Virgo, working too hard. Got yourself killed, girl. That whole relationship thing. What a madness, man. I'm just having joke, right? Because obviously, right, like you're just reading charts of people, but it's coming across in the camera, and that's why I'm reading the Neptune situation. Okay, after Valdez, here's a guy, a legend. Lorenz Richard in this show, Tate in real life, but Richard Tate in the show. So basically, it's almost like a cameo, but like life spins around, a different way. So he's 44 now. Why do I say it spins around a different way? Because fix his chart. Famously, this man, one of his most prominent roles was being O-Dog in Menace to Society, which is like a cult classic that basically has him as the could you call him a protagonist? Getting with these lyrical bars, but basically he was representing the blind mentality of not understanding how to get out of his neighborhood. Essentially, that's the diplomatic way of putting it. He's coming on that gangster thing, and then he had the cousin that it's like the Trey and Doughboy situation in Boys in the Hood, another film of that era. But yeah, he basically was that sick guy that then in the remake Don't Be a Menace to the Neighborhood while drinking juice in South Central. Don't know how he even got that title out. But yeah, like it's a spoof. The Williams brothers are basically making a spoof on his character, Lorenz Tate, O-Dog, yeah, from Menace to Society, classic film. So the reason why I say it's come full circle, because now in this he plays a politician and a former policeman, yeah. So he went from being the gangster as a kid to a politician now. So that's what all that spiel was about. Threw him up an Aries chart. Check this for a madness. So yeah, it's North Nodes in Scorpio. So Mr. Lorenz Tate, alright, here we go. So the Tech Nines and the guns, right? I remember him saying like he was obviously a police officer in the show. I remember him shooting somebody in a situation in the particular show. So he has his Mars in Gemini, 14, opposite his Neptune at 9 in Sagittarius. Anything else at 9 or close to 9. Juno at 10 in Leo, makes a trine. Apart from the Pluto sextile, which is a long running feature. I'm guessing there's something else in here, but nothing to scream about at this point in time. But I will say that his North Node in his chart before he was born, the last thing it passed over was Neptune, because the North Node moves backwards compared to everything else. So Neptune ended up being the planet that he's come to follow in his life. And then a bit after this reverse aspect of counting the degrees, you'd find out that it became prominent at a certain age. Probably the distance of this from this. Not even going to bother counting it. I'll look it up one day. Okay. This guy, less known, and probably understandable and conceivably why. Jerry Ferreira, who played Proctor, Joe Proctor in the show. And he has Venus conjunct his Neptune. So, yeah, he does figure. He also has Pallas sextile his Neptune. And the reason why I think it's actually funny is Neptune's in Sagittarius as well, because he was the lawyer. And it can speak to the law as well as Libra and positions. As well as Capricorn, actually. Talking about law and order. But yeah, he played the lawyer that basically got put in the compromise situation between Tommy, Ghost, and basically the rest of life. So, you know, difficult for him. So anyway, some honourable mentions just to wrap it out, because there's people that like these guys in the show. Enrico Murciano, aka Felipe Lobos. Yeah, Lobos was one of the guys from like I think the first or second series, give or take, and he was like that dark bad guy that just, he had Tommy and Ghost feeling away, do you know what I mean? Like they had to join up and like sort him out, and it was a bit of work, but yeah, he is memorable and he had that kind of presence. So where's your Neptune, my friend? 5 degrees Sagittarius. And what do we see? You see a bunch of stuff sitting around it. So you got Ceres, Juno, Black Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, all in Sagittarius. There you go, Mercury trine. Okay, so that's sweet. And then his Mercury's, you know, not too far from his Venus. But yeah, Mercury's at 3 degrees Leo, and that's making a direct trine to his Neptune. So it's come naturally to him. Essentially, a trine acts as a gift, communication, putting words across, and how he, yeah, and he basically spoke another language. He spoke like Portuguese or something, and all of his guys spoke Portuguese. And I remember Omari Hardwick actually used to speak Spanish or Portuguese in the show, or maybe a mix of both, depending on who he was communicating with. Ghost was that guy. That's probably why he's got South Node in Gemini. Communication, different languages. And then, yeah, his brethren was Tommy, who is a white guy. And then I think, you know, I'm not even sure what his background is in the show. You don't see his parents. Ghost! But that's Lobos. This guy, yeah, oh my gosh. You always got to have a comedy element, yeah, the light-hearted part or the madness. Why this guy ended up being the victim? Mr. Pisces, Wowza Weezer, but he's not even any old Pisces. It's the 29th of February Pisces. So real life name Shane Johnson, acting name in the show Cooper Sax. Sax was that guy, yeah, and I ain't even gonna get deep into what Sax was. What Sax was that guy. If you're watching any of this far, yeah, you'll know about Sax. Neptune aspect. Well, you know. Here we go. So he wasn't the biggest player in the show, but he did pop up and obviously, like I say, caused that different level of light relief. Venus sextile to his Neptune, so one's at 12, and it's, you know, not too far from his Venus. Sorry, Mercury, and his Neptune is in Sagittarius, 60-degree aspect, 2 signs apart. And then there's anything else that I see close by. Well, I see his nodes at 14. And that puts him in a semi-sextile from his Neptune. So yeah, some situation where, yeah, he does probably does bit parts a bit more than anything else. And I actually seen that when looking up his bio. So kind of like he really did dip in, dip out, kind of gone missing Pisces thing, if you know what I mean. We speak to Neptune, it kind of like dissolves things, or you can't see things, or it hides things. I say Neptune because basically he's a Pisces, and that's planet that's said to rule the sign after Jupiter. Another guy that was memorable as you like, Milan. Milan was a Serbian head honcho boss that basically used to be known as a cannibal and eat his his opponents. So that wasn't nothing to mess with. His Neptune aspect is quite apparent. His North Node. So real life name Callum Mulvey. Yeah, he's actually born in Auckland, New Zealand, 23rd of February 1975, which also makes him a Pisces, just like Cooper Sachs. So Callum Mulvey actually has his Neptune not too far from his North Node, and the North Node speaks about what he's supposed to do to gain the most growth in the future or learn a lesson in his lifetime, but maybe also not to kind of overdo, such as the South Node as well. It's always a balancing act. Quick look around, see Saturn at 12, that's making an inconjunct, so it's not a minor aspect, it's actually making an aspect to his Neptune again. And Black Moon Lilith is even square in Neptune, which is why he was such a bad guy. And I think that's where my Black Moon Lilith is actually. But if you watched it this far, what do you know? Big deal. Yeah, in my chart, it doesn't make obviously aspects to the same alignment to the same planets at all. So different kettle of fish, I imagine. In fact, I know, relatively speaking. I'm looking just in case I've missed anything obvious. But no, yeah, I see that Lilith Black Moon aspect. It's not doing too much, but it makes a trine with Saturn, and that actually explains to him being a boss or a top leading figure in the show. So there you go, Saturn, Neptune, and Black Moon Lilith. So yeah, actually, there you go. Black Moon Lilith, trine, and inconjunct and square. So yeah, strange bad guy. That's what Black Moon Lilith would add, I guess, to Neptune. Saturn being the boss. Bad naughty, bad guy. Right, oh, and then to top it off, because it's International Women's Day, although timing clocks have just ticked over, a top boss, head honcho woman of this thing. I mean, there were quite a few players in this show, but I thought I'd, wrap it up with this lady here, Ana de la Rugera. Forgive the pronunciation, pardon me. I'm not even going to try and say it again. I can't roll my R's that well. Takes me a bit of practice, and I didn't practice it, so forgive that. And funny it's talking about rolling R's considering my name. So yeah, this lady basically was the sister in a partnership called the Jimenez cartel, and her brother was the other partner, and in fact they were from a family bigger with more connections. And what do we have for this leading lady of the outfit? So she has Neptune at 16 degrees in Sagittarius, and we didn't see her that much in the show, but like when she was in the show she was serious. Okay, so she has Saturn at 9 with Pallas at 14 in Leo, and they make a trine over to this Neptune, and she was a boss, a masterful boss, which is probably the Pallas aspect of things, and she did it with style, which is probably the Leo. So yeah, I guess what it is the camera can portray kind of what is there, and then you just kind of have to act it and carry it through. Oh, and then the other sweet aspect here, Sun and Venus, 14 and 16, sorry 18, so in between that would be 16. It's making a sweet trine over to this Neptune at 16 in Sagittarius. So yeah, it's nice, okay. I mean, even this Vesta here is making an inconjunct, if you want to really get to it. Service to the family. Right, so anyway people, that's my ode to Neptune and 50 Cent and power, and how these things can basically like cross over from real life to the screen. So let's just have a look here and see if I can fit it in real quick. I've got the suspicion that Pharrell Williams, yeah, has his Neptune around that degree. Where Neptune might be now is Mercury, sorry. Let's have a look. Gonna go on astral theme, see if it's open. trying a thing. Not too many people call for Red either, so in terms of fame, just killed it with caps lock. Nope, they're not giving me no joy. See what happens when I hit this. So it gives me Tyler and Jay Dilla. What a madness. But yeah, Madden Pharrell might be actually on might be on one of these screens. It's the searching tool for it. I think it'd just be easier to just do a natal chart search, because he's too famous, man. Too famous. But if I'm talking about Neptune, I've got to get in the Neptune sky. Let me see if I can link this work. This is off my mad memory. I'm not trying to see his age. Well, I guess I am going to see his age, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Exactly. Trying to see his chart. Astro.charts, astro theme. Okay, yeah. April the 5th, that's what I remember. Sure, I've probably got his chart in this. Anyway, but that's a whole nother story. Oops, not that one. Go down. I'm gonna wrap this up inside 44 minutes. I know I'm gonna do it. Shouldn't be too hard. Screen. Go down. Try that. There we go. Oh, bam, do. This old photographic brain of mine sometimes takes some things and God knows what it spits back out. But Mr. Happy has his Neptune, his Mercury, which is why it's kind of mad, because obviously he's from Neptune's fame with Chad Hugo, and yeah, Pharrell, I think I was supposed to do something on your birthday last year. I'm not sure if I did, but you have a Neptune on your Mercury. Might be a hazy phase for you in terms of the transit, but you've managed to fit into my video here and make it actually very pertinent to exactly what I'm talking about. But he, he's called the Neptunes. He's made it big with the Neptunes. So his Mercury squares Saturn. Which talks to his prominence and where he's been and what he's done. Sun Venus in Aries. Opposite Uranus, which is why he's the Star Trek guy, famously into the future. Mars and Jupiter. I guess that's the exuberance, enthusiasm. Also more Star Trek kind of nature, makes him spacey. So yeah, but it's all about his Mercury being here. So good shout from me. Anyway, Ethereal Synchronicity 444 is signing out. Before I do, just want to say like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell 50, yeah, and don't get into smoke me on the gram and that, yeah, like, I fire back, but it's 50 and that, like, who the hell's like, the whole world running from 50, but like, I can't run, I can just like, get hit like he did. Man's got jokes, and cause I'm like him, like, I'll be back. Right, signing out, peace.